Part 3 of the book starts now, and it'll start with chapter 9 on time, moving on to mathematics, probability, and physics. It will start with time, and there's a lot of different questions that are debated in the philosophy of time, but they are interconnected, so what you answer to one will depend on what you answer to another, and so we'll cover a lot of different questions in this series of videos covering chapter 9 in order to give this one coherent theory of time. The main debate in the philosophy of time nowadays is presentism versus eternalism. Presentism is the view that only the world today now exists, whereas eternalism says that there is no difference between past, present, and future. There's nothing special about now, as the presentists say. Rather, we live in this block universe where all times exists in the same way, and all motion is actually just an illusion. There is just this big frozen block universe. And that may sound like a strange view, but actually it is the majority view among philosophers of time and physicists working on time. And still I will be defending presentism in these videos. We are going to look at many different questions, and I'm going to suggest answers to all of these questions. So first, what is time? Is it something irreducible, or can it be reduced to something else? Does time flow, or is time and motion just an illusion? What is now? Is it just an infinitely small point, or can it be defined as something? Is time relative, as Einstein said, and then what does that mean? What is the structure of time? How does past, present, and future relate to each other? Are statements about the future true? Or is it rather the case that the future doesn't exist? So statements about the true and about the future do not have truth value. What is the cause of time, if there is a cause of time then? Are there points of time? Can it be divided into points, or is it this continuous flow or discrete points? Why does time move forward? We're talking about the arrow of time moving forward, but could time go backwards or in different directions? What kinds of time travel are possible? And by formulating the question like that, I'm indicating that I'll argue that some kinds of time travel are possible and others are impossible. How does time relate to mind? So how does the physical time relate to our conscious experience of time? Does time pass when there's no motion? Could we imagine that everything freezes, but time continues to pass? Or would time also stop if everything else stops? Is time infinite in the past and future directions, or is there a beginning and an end? Was there time before the Big Bang, and when will time end, if it will end? These are the questions that we will be discussing in these videos, so that should be interesting. So stay with us.